You said nothing was off limits. So, yes or no, have you ever streaked naked through the streets of France?
Yes.
Why?
Because it was funny. Street naked is going naked.
Mm-hmm.
I've run around naked in a lot of places, actually.
You read there's a video on the internet of it.
Yeah, you can find video on the internet of it. I went naked bath in. That's one of my little life achievement. I made a road trip with some friends to the north of Europe, to a place called Cape North, where it's basically the Arctic Ocean, and then I went naked in this water, which I regret a bit because we almost died because the air temperature was like minus 17 degrees Celsius and the water was like 2 degrees Celsius, so it freezes at zero. So I don't know the Fahrenheit translation, but yeah, that was cool. So yes, absolutely.
All right, so the steps of marketing: know your product, create awareness for your product,
Yeah.
and then create a positive narrative for your product.
Yeah.
What stage of that are you in for OpTic right now?
Know your product. Easy. And that's going to be the same stage for the next 2-3 weeks minimum.
Mm-hmm. What are you learning?
People. I'm learning the people I'm working with. I'm learning the people on top of me. I'm learning the people all around me, basically. I need that. A brand is people at the end of the day. You can't force anything on people if they don't commit to the project. A good idea is 50% of the way. The other 50% is how you're going to sell it and how they're going to accept it and activate it. Took me a year and a half for Unicorns of Love to actually starting to efficiently be a unicorn on stage. Because if I don't believe in what I'm going to do, it's going to be cringe. You can't go half naked on a stage dressed like that if you don't believe. That's something. After Hamburg, where I was as a black unicorn on stage versus Lothar from G2, really, that was so cool. And when I got out of the stage, I was still in the heat of the battle. And then Hilisang, our support at Unicorns of Love, looked at me and said, "Well, how do you do when you go on stage and you scream? You're not scared? Like there's gonna be a big silence after, like no one is gonna answer?" And I looked at him and I've never thought about it, actually. It was obvious for me, like if I'm screaming at you and I'm really happy, you're gonna scream as well, isn't it? And he put it down there to me, and the next step I put on stage, I was actually scared of it a bit, but it was fine because they were already kind of educated. But that it made me realize, yeah, if you 100% convinced about what's gonna happen, usually it happens. So, but because I knew exactly what they were looking from me, and what was expected from me as well, and everything was kind of locked. Like Riot knew what was going to happen, my guys knew what was going to happen, the opponent knew what was going to happen. Everything was fixed. So, but it was fixed because this whole ecosystem, we studied it for like a year and a half with everyone, and we made sure everyone was on board, which was just for Riot a huge step, I believe, because they're usually extremely scared of this kind of stuff because it can backfire so fast and so big. I was half naked on stage.
How did you convince Riot to let you be all those characters?
By going really, really slowly. By just starting backstage and saying, "Look, I might look a bit dumb, but actually I know what I'm doing, and I'm never gonna cross boundaries. I'm never gonna go this extra step which could put you under trouble, because at the end of the day, it's business. It's literally business. It's working on my brand, it's working on their brand, it's working on our brand, it's making your product better at the end of the day through fun and smiles and laughing, rire, whatever." So, but yeah, it was a team effort, definitely.
What was sort of the scariest one? What was the one that made you think like, okay, maybe this one, Riot says no?
All of them, literally, all of them. But usually when, I mean, you can see it on the. I remember the main referee. I won't say his name, but backstage, dude from England, and if he was looking at me right before saying, "Roman, I haven't seen you. I don't know what's gonna happen," and I was like, "Okay, I can go, and we're gonna try." Yeah,
What were you wearing?
Nothing, basically. No, and yeah, I went really close to the limit once because I stepped on the stage and I was not allowed to be on the stage, and I knew it. But on the heat of the moment I thought it was a really good idea to climb on this specific box and to scream at the crowd, and I climb on the box and I scream at the crowd, they answer back. I step down the box, I looked at the Riot person right next to me, and okay, I'm sorry. Never gonna happen again. But they knew if I say it's never gonna happen again, it's never gonna happen again. That was a deal.
So people are wondering, why haven't we seen this at the LCS yet? When does Romain come out shirtless for OpTic?
When I know my product. And we're literally creating everything. Like from the moment when I got hired to now, we've been just a few amount of people working in the core idea of League of Legends. Like OpTic has a lot of people ready to work for us, but you need to feed them with something solid. So right now what they're going to do is what they're really good at, is putting people with camera around us to create slowly but surely content. But the team has been efficiently training for 15 days. We had a really rough month of December. We faced a lot of problem finding a gaming house. Like first we wanted an office with apartments and a gaming house, and we went back to an office with apartment. We had visa problem, we had training problem, we had credit card problem, like a lot of stuff. That was terrible. So it started to settle a bit. We start to be a bit more efficient. So yeah, it's gonna take a bit more time, because I wouldn't believe in it. Like I could come around half naked, dressed in a really specific OpTic stuff, but that would be cringe. That would just be really cringe. So because I just don't believe in it. So
Yeah.
we have time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've got a pretty large nuclear family. Your brothers and sisters. You
Yeah.
seem very close to them.
Yeah.
How have they helped shaped who you are now?
We all kind of really specialized in what we're doing, and God bless my parents actually for making that possible. I'm doing video games. My the sister right below me is a pharmacy. She's selling medicines basically. She just got a little baby like literally two weeks ago. So now we have one more member in the family. Then the sister below is an actress in Paris, so she does theater, movies and stuff like that. And the youngest brother is doing infography, so anything connected with computers. And I believe we're all kind of successful in what we're doing, probably because we do it with love and with no drawback, no break. We just go full on it. And my parents are making sure we always speak to each other. We all collect information and stuff. Like mom is always poking on everyone. How are you? How are you? Have you asked your brother how he's doing? You should tell about to your sister because she's having a big audition tomorrow and stuff. So to make sure the communication is going, and they still love each other, like, which is amazing. Like my dad is still madly in love with my mom, and my mom with my dad. So they're annoyingly cute. But I think it's a really nice goal, kind of. So yeah, and I mean I see them twice a year, but every time it's really, really cool. I love it.
You're obviously very confident. Has your family helped contribute to that? Having really close siblings or really supportive parents?
Yeah, because at the end of the day, I'm kind of invincible, because whatever's gonna happen to me in my life, I still have them. Like I can massively fail whatever I'm gonna do. Deep inside of me, I know I have those safe space. Like I can go to my mom and dad home, and I'm always gonna be welcome there. But one day they won't be there anymore. But I have 4 other places. I mean 3. I'm counting me. I have 3 other places, and whatever day and hour of the night and day, I can just knock and I'm welcome. So yeah, it makes people invincible, kind of.
Your dad in particular, he gives a lot of talks about performance or team building. I know, I'm creepy.
No, that's good. That's really, really good.
Has he kind of helped develop your career as a manager? Do you ever take advice from him?
Absolutely. Like he's been doing that for a lot of time. He basically starting by doing researches in a company about performance, motivation. How do you put yourself as a human being in energy? Do you need to be alone? Do you need to talk to people? Do you need to sleep more? Do you need to speak more? How should you speak? How should you always be positive in the way you see things, how negativity can affect you in your communication, how do you build your own project and stuff like that. And he's been digging and diving into this specific topic for like 20 years. So if he's Yoda, I have been the Padawan for 20 years, because whatever, it's like a doctor when he's going back home, he's going to tell you about stories, what happened in the hospital. Well, that was the same. I faced this problem and I solved it that way, or I had no clue how to solve it, and that happened and that happened. And when he saw me going a bit more into more of a management job, yeah, of course, he helped a lot. And I'm just using everything he taught me, actually.
Is there any specific problem you remember having and coming to him with that he helped you with?
Always, all the time. It's just any kind of problem you're facing with a player, with another member in the management, even in your own personal life, you just go to him and you ask him how would you have solved it, and it's usually never going to answer you, because you have to find the answer. That would be too easy. That would put him it's a bit like Riot is behaving with teams, for example. If the team is having a problem and we go to Riot, most of the times they're not going to solve the problem for us, but they're going to tell us, maybe we would do that, but they can't really commit to it, because if we fail, it's going to be their fault. Same with my dad. He can't tell me you should solve that by doing that, because if I fail, my first reflex is going to be, you told me to do that. Nah, that's not how it works. I have to find my own solution. So I can't tell you any problem, because it's going to involve people, and I don't want to quote anyone, but yeah, he definitely helped. And it's usually always the same stuff. So his company is named Point Fort, which means strength, basically. That's always going to be the same idea. Is you should focus on what you love, and you should be hard on yourself for what you love. Do what you love, but do it great. Do it 100%. Like, you have no excuses to fail on doing something you love. You have all the excuses in the world failing at something you hate, basically. That's the mindset.
Make love, not war. But if you have to make war, make sure to put all your love into it.
Basically it.
What has that meant for you in your esports career?
Go full ham on whatever you're doing. Like, that's a choice I had to do long ago, because when you come into esport, when I picked the job to go to Unicorns of Love, I knew my personal life was over, basically. Like, my personal life was suddenly becoming the guys. Like, I went to bed Unicorns of Love, I woke up Unicorns of Love, I brushed my teeth Unicorns of Love, like everything was Unicorns of Love. I had no more personal life, but I wasn't really working. I never felt I had to wake up to go to a job. And I had a really cool job before. I was esport guy for Razer. I work as an intern in those amazing company. But still, sometimes you have this specific project you really don't want to do and those stuff. But I was kind of my own boss with Unicorns of Love, so that was amazing. And that's the same with OpTic for now, for example. So I'm not really at work. I've been in the US for 20 days, and it feels like 3 lives already, and I love it. I have probably slept 5 to 6 hours per night, probably less. But yes, if I had to sign again, I would just sign again. Like, it's a big holidays where I have to do really cool stuff, surrounded by really cool people, and so yeah, I'm gladly committing 100% on it. Yeah, it's a kind of a war, but I'm gonna put all my love into it. And sometimes when I speak about it with other people, and they ask me, but do you go out? Do I go where? Oh, yeah, no. No, what for? Like, I'm having so much fun at work, so why would I? And I know if I would be so mad against myself if in 6 months, 1 year, I could go back in time and say, look, this specific moment, if you had gave it a tiny bit more, you would have made it. I don't want that. Never. So that's why, yeah, I'm going to put all my love into this war.
You manage a team. You're managing a new team. You've really well branded a team. You become sort of a figurehead. What do you want to achieve next?
I want to go to Worlds. I want to experience how is a high-level international roadshow organized by Riot. I want to prove myself I can actually impact people to the point they are long-term winners. I want to prove myself. If you go back to those tables from my dad, like with a classic one-shot winner, long-term winner, I want to become to the last. I want to be a part to the last case of the table, meaning I have to study myself a lot. Why am I doing that? How can I improve it? How can I improve this answer? How can I improve that? Why I've been doing that? How am I speaking to people? Why am I speaking like that? How are they reacting when I use this word instead of this word? Like, are they reacting like that because of my own impact on them, or just because actually their background and their environment was different this specific time? I want to be able to hack people, and it's doable. It's doable. Some people do it naturally. Some people study it. It's doable because I think it makes life fun. I want to have fun at the end of the day.
It won't be easy, but it will be beautiful.
That's the motto, yeah. It's not fun if it's easy.